I mean, yeah. What if we put Steve's jingles that he've sent us, and we just put them up on like Audio Jungle or someone, and just start selling them for our other content creators? And then in a couple of months, he just, why did you Venmo me $2? Like, oh, it's your 10%. You have an account now.
I'm not quite liking that you've got ownership of his music now. It was always exclusive for me.
Don't want to share him.
when he redid the podcast theme tune, he definitely said it was for us. So there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Even
really
split.
looking forward to the edit this time, getting a new theme tune to mangle to get to fit into the edit. So, yeah.
So I've started making and already editing a new project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Making a giant box at the moment. And on the
That's
front
very
of that
on
box,
point. Yeah.
yeah, and on the front of that box, I'm going to put 2 doors, and then I'm going to sit my table saw on top of it and put some casters underneath.
So you're building a miter saw station. That is all right.
A table saw station. Yes.
Yes.
My
Unless you hinge it and then you can use it as a miter saw. That would be a project.
Yeah.
Are you saying
Converted my table saw to a miter saw.
you put it on a stand and have moved the entire table
Yeah.
saw upside down as a miter saw with a hinge?
Yeah, and not only a miter saw, but one of these radial saws that really wants to kill you.
That's bloody brilliant in
just-
stupidity.
Just continue the series and make your miter saw a table saw. Just carry on like that.
I mean, that's way harder, I would say, spontaneously. Probably a lot safer, but way harder.
Yeah. But
now I really want to see a mitered table saw. That's the worst idea ever.
Talking about miter saws, I have a very banged up one from Ryobi, but it did a good job in the ongoing competition that I have with the Glenn's wife in finishing the gang. So it actually produced some decent miters this weekend for some sidings for the door. Is it sidings? Panels? Sidings?
Architrave.
Yeah,
What?
whatever that is. So yeah.
Architrave.
Yeah.
Never heard that word before.
Okay.
No, me neither.
Right. You made it up.
Yeah, sure I did. Nice easy word to make up, wasn't it?
Yeah. Just rolls off the tip of your tongue, yeah. So new project, do you have any... Is it just going to be a table with 2 doors, or do you plan on some fancy schmancery?
Well, the only fancy bit at the moment is the 2 doors have got some depth to them, so they'll open up and they will actually, in the door section, will hold the push sticks.
Oh,
and then I've got the nice big cabinet for just other shit that I've not got room for anymore in the workshop. There's just a big wasted space underneath my table saw. It's got a folding stand on because it's a job site table saw.
Oh yeah.
So you can fold it up and wheel it off to the next place. But I don't do that. So yeah, I want to make some storage underneath it is the main reason for doing it.
So, sounds reasonable.
Keep my miter jig and stuff under there, and probably my circular saws as well.
Everything you don't want easy access to.
Yeah, exactly. So going back to the gang, have you finished? Is it done? Because it was hilarious here on Saturday when you sent the message that you had started doing that.
Started a gang war.
Yeah. Michelle was going to do some quilting and some baking. Then you sent that video and then it was full on decorating for one day. And then she went off the idea. She started again today.
I I had to play that message to my wife. I laughed my ass off when I got the message from Michelle. Like, I was planning a quiet day, and here you send me, I hate you. That was just the end of the message.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Oh, as long as it comes from a place of love, it's okay. Yeah.
So, have you
Um,
finished?
no.
No.
I put, of course, the thing that you said around the door. That's done.
Yeah.
And I put it around the loft stair door thingamabob.
Yeah. Off
But
hatch.
it needs to it needs to come off and be painted again. But I'm not gonna bother that before it's a bit hotter and drier outside. So that means that it's going to be done within the next 5 to 10 years because it
Ah,
is up now. So taking it off again and um,
it's a real slow running competition, this, isn't it? I
Yeah.
wonder who will
yeah.
win.
Snail racing.
I mean, it's house renovations. Nobody ever wins. You're just constantly doing crap until you die, and then someone
Yeah.
sells your house, and
You
someone else
generally finish
continues.
you generally finish these things to sell your house, don't you?
Yeah.
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 No, the thing that I need now is, of course, I changed some panel on the wall last summer, and I took off the trim under the ceiling, and I realized that the old trim is actually still for sale, so I can get new trim, but in the same profiles as the old ones. But of course, it's a couple of compound corners, which is really hard, and I have to think, and I don't like to think when I do house maintenance work. So, and yes, again, I would like to set up the miter so outside the door in the summertime, so I don't have to run in and out 3 doors in pissing rain to take off a half a millimeter. No, still too long, and then run back up and no, take off a quarter of a millimeter. No, way too short. God damn it! Need to go to the store and get a new one. So,
That's the
yeah,
fun of it all.
yeah.
That's the only thing that keeps us fit.
So some people do that for a living.
Yeah.
Those are some, yeah, those are screwed together differently.
So have you had all the parts for your project, KJ? Have they all arrived now?
Yes, they arrived just the day after our last recording. So I
Oh,
was
okay.
well set in continuing, but yeah, it's on a hiatus at the moment. But the video is almost everything I filmed is edited. I mean, rough edited at least. So I just need to make a spectacular thumbnail, as you suggested.
Yeah.
Maybe this time you shouldn't be boring. Or what was it you said?
I don't think I said that.
No, but
I think
between the
think
lines.
I think I just suggested you went off brand.
Yeah. But you're right. You're right.
I just want you to do well, KJ. Not that
Yeah,
I'm
don't we
doing
all?
so well at it.
Yeah. Speaking of doing well, I realized the other day that I had lost a subscriber, but I haven't done anything on YouTube. And at least me, I have more or less never unsubscribed from someone because they've been inactive. Because I'm subscribed to too many people, so scrolling through that list and finding someone that I might dislike, that seems like odd behavior.
I think the inactive ones are the safest ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because you don't notice them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So my thinking was, when you lose a subscriber, is that just a bot account getting banned? Or something, someone being excluded from the YouTube scene, and then their subscribe goes away.
that that may actually be, and but then again, it might be the odd one out like ourselves that sometimes you just you just get that feeling, and I need to clean up my list, and you just go through the entire one and unsubscribes to people that like, this wasn't what I thought it was.
I think sometimes it's we outgrow some of the channels we've been following for years as well, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like some of the early woodworking channels that are still doing that similar content to what they were, 5
That
years
hasn't
ago.
evolved at all. They're doing the
Yeah,
same thing
they're doing
over
the
and
same
over and
thing,
over
but they're
again.
successful at doing that thing. But it
Yeah.
doesn't progress with you, does it? So maybe it's that sort of.
Yeah, might be.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, how many times do you need to see someone gluing together a table at some point? Yeah, we get it. I know it now. So yeah.
I'm disappointed you didn't say strumstick then.
I was trying to be nice.
But I mean, you have made enough difference in all your string instruments to actually be considered different ones.
Yes,
I
definitely.
know some channels that are like, yep, you are making a plywood box again and using it in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Ooh, plywood strumstick.
No.
How big can you make a strumstick and still have it be considered a strumstick?
Actually,
Drum bass.
I was
Yeah.
making this box for the table saw, and I've got the 5 sides glued together, not the top. And I was looking at that thinking, could I make a giant con and get 2 people to play it? That would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to check this one because I wanted to make. It's a combination string and wind instrument. And I'm not sure it's called the same in English, but it's a Wigophone.
I've not heard of that.
No, I
Haven't
searched.
heard.
I searched it on no hits on YouTube. So let's try the Google machine then.
Lily wants me to make a xylophone. The
Yeah, that would
electric
be
ones with the
cool.
pens.
Ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I don't know how to make one of
barely
those.
get any
It would be
hits
cool.
on.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably hard to make a. Is it xylophone, both the wooden ones and the metallic ones? Is it a vibraphone? I can't. Yeah, but either making a metal or a wood one, just to tune that, it must be a.
Yeah. Sorry,
hell.
yeah, I got that mixed up. I can't remember what the electric thing's called with the pen. It's not a xylophone.
Stylos?
It might be something like that.
Phone, something
Yeah,
like that.
that's a stylophone.
Yeah.
Right.
Xylophone and glockenspiel and vibraphone.
There are a lot
I don't know the difference between all of those.
No, I've seen my kids have watched some videos where they got people playing like the Windows startup sound on 50 different instruments going around the room, and there are some
wow.
like vibraphones made of glass and everything you can think of. But I can't remember which one is which, so yeah, doesn't matter.
I saw an interesting thing yesterday on YouTube actually, and it was basically an arm that rotated with a few things dangling down, like dowels, for argument's sake, just hanging below the arm at various points, and it just hit glasses with different levels of water in and played a perfect tune as it went around. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, that's
very clever.
If you have a lot of free time, and how, I mean, to set that up properly and tune it,
Steve,
I would probably rage quit halfway through at least.
Steve, you got a minute? What instrument would you make, KJ, if you were going to make one?
That is a good question.
Because you did say you were ready for an instrument along before we changed it to a lamp along.
Yeah. Probably something made out of probably something out of wood, if it's a wind instrument of some kind, or percussion instrument of whatever material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably percussion. That's probably closest because that's simplest.
Yeah.
And you can make it somewhat interesting as well. I mean, I was looking into that, experimenting a bit last time when we talked about the having a art installation thing that made weird sounds in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do something with those laughing gas canisters that I've been collecting,
Yeah.
but it was pitched too high. It was the ding was too much of a ding and not a dong,
Right.
which I was hoping it would be. So I scrapped that. Thought.
Yeah, last week when we were talking to Steve, and me and him were talking about an instrument he made out of an old helium canister.
Yeah.
Was he literally cut the canister and cut like an upside down U shape out of various points of it, and then folded those down. And then when you hit those in various positions, it made different noises. That was
Oh yeah, they should.
That was quite a
do
nice
that.
little concept, actually.
Yeah. So many ideas, so little time. And we've lost Haavard totally to
Yeah, he's just on
to
Google
googling.
Yeah. I'm far away. No, I'm not. I mean, in instruments, I already have that on the table. But what I really would like to build is like an old school, like tube amplifier. But
Those at least look good.
yeah, and but then again, I don't like. I mean, some of them are. I mean, electronics is fun, but it's like they just take a random gray box laying around and just drill some holes and then they put it in. I think a lot can be done on the design side, and at least yeah, in the 70s they did not have a 3D printer, so I think I can maybe work some magic on how the tubes and everything can be mounted in a case when you have a 3D printer. So
Yeah. Then you want to put some wood veneer on it or something like that if you want the 70s style look of it. Or just go total steampunk. Or
yeah,
is that electro? What's it called? Oh, never mind.
well,
There
talking
are some
about
good.
veneering there, that Glenn has some experience there. Some proper wood here, let me just sand it for you. Oh no, it's pine.
Oh, yes.
I
Gosh,
laughed
yeah.
so hard at that.
The tricky wood. Yeah, that was a fun
Yeah.
part of the video.
That really was bloody good veneer, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even one piece, it was like the finger joint as well.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
But the funny thing is, I noticed when I was watching the video back that as I cut it on the saw, you can actually see that it's pine underneath.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't see that from where I was while I was cutting it, so it wasn't until I sanded it. I was like, why is this stuff just melting and sticking to the sanding pad? It was really weird. I kind of like the look of the finger jointed pine, the engineered pine. It looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no problems with it, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Fun part of the video, I would say. In other YouTube news, Leon the Lobster is dead. If anyone followed that, it was a thing on YouTube like 3 years ago when a guy bought a lobster from the grocery store, a live lobster, and just put it in his aquarium and tried to have it. And I think it was like 3 years it survived, but it didn't survive. It lasts mulching, what it's called, when it changes the shell, comes out of the. So it died. Like, I think, isn't that the way lobsters go? If they get too old, they can't. They get too big.
I don't know.
Might be something like that. But yeah, so it was.
But they can get extremely old. But I mean, he might have gotten a pensioner at the store as well. I mean,
Yeah. He, as he said in the video, he didn't know how old it was, or if it's been on something that's been brought up in a control the environment and give it some growth hormones or something like that. Or, but yeah, it started like a trend of buying live food animals and putting them in aquariums. I think I saw some crabs and a lot of stuff. And it was kind of fun in the beginning. Then the videos got kind of boring, but
I don't think the No.1 Crude mistakes is gonna get an aquarium pet mascot
no
anytime
way.
soon.
If it's one thing I took from those videos is I do not want a big aquarium. That is so much work, cleaning that and changing the water and keeping it control. It's too much work.
I do have a friend who owns a chain of aquarium stores.
You have good friends.
It's all about knowing the right person, isn't it?
Yeah. You are the social one of us.
I don't have that many friends, but they've got quite varied skills between them all.
Yeah, I mean aquariums, ukulele clubs.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Swiss Army friend group.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the best kind of friend group for normal life or the apocalypse. So yeah.
Yeah. Got a newish friend as well. Who's who knows coding and Arduinos and all that, and electronics. If I need to get that resource in.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit random, of course. When you're a kid, you just walk up to something and, do you want to be my friend? Yes. And then you're friends for life, obviously. And then, of course, you meet someone at school at some level. And then, some of them stay around as friends. And then you might find a colleague or two that are decent enough that, all right, you might call them friends after a while. But after that, it kind of like takes a dive. And then the question is, should you take a more systematic approach to it? I mean, should I make a list? What skill sets do I need in a friend? We discussed this in the family this week. I mean, we now have a friend that's just one exam away from being a certified plumber. So, okay, we have a plumber. That's good. We need an electrician and all those certifications that you need someone to help you with. Like, so you should just put down a list. And then, of course, we need a lawyer for quarrels with neighbors and so on. Yeah. Writing up wills.
When the plumber doesn't do his job and shit goes the wrong way.
Oh.
So do you want like a dating app for friends with benefits? But you actually mean friends who not have skills. You don't want to have sex with them.
Friends with skills or friends with trades. Yeah.
We need to find a new name for that, so there's no misunderstandings.
You heard it here first, but that would be a nice app.
That's actually quite common within the trades, isn't it? That my brother-in-law's a woodworker, a chippy, and if he needs a plumber, he's got a plumber friend, and they just pull resources like that. They don't charge each other for the work, or they charge each other a very small amount. But that's just how they do it in the trade. To just pull each other's resources, which is it should be, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the bad thing about moving away for love, which I did, because of course all my friends and family are of course 8 hours away by car. So of course I know several electricians. I know plumbers. My uncle has an excavator and a lorry. But of course, when I lived back home, then you could ask favors a few hours here and there, and you just paid a bottle of whiskey, and that was the currency back and forth. And you helped out if they needed some work carried out one day. But asking them to, could you spare 2 hours digging in my yard? Yeah, of course. Do you mind driving for 8 hours one way to do that in 8 hours? I mean, no, there's a barrier there. So you can't really utilize that. So then you have to pay for it instead. And it's costly. So yeah, friends with trades or friends with skills. That's I'd get that app.
I mean, the government might want to look in on it as I mean, tax evasion and that sort of thing is not.
Yeah, but
It's
I
a bit
mean,
frowned upon.
if they come asking, it's like, no, it's just sex, mate. It's just yeah, it's some fetish thing. Don't.
I'm happy to help my friends out with most things, but I do roll my eyes when they ask me to help them with gardening.
I mean, that's one of those interesting thought experiments, or whatever we could say. I mean, because actually, uh, having tradies trade skills, like one doing carpentry, another one doing plumbing, and they doing work for work, that is frowned upon by the taxman, because they're avoiding. And if you pay for sex, that is also frowned upon. But if you trade sex for sex, is that okay? If we have sex together, and that's I mean
No.
trading sex for sex, is that a would the taxman come after you, or would it, because you're not breaking the law, but you could be breaking the law in another way?
But I
You see
mean,
where I'm
as
going?
long as it's consensual, and then it is trading sex for sex, just being the definition of having sex, isn't it? And
Yeah, that's one of the few things you can do for free if you're careful.
yeah,
Depends who you're doing it
if
with, I
you're
would say.
nice, you can actually do it for free. Yeah,
Yeah, well, if you have an accident, for instance, and there's a baby that was unplanned, that's not for free, is it?
Definitely not.
Yeah.
no, there are some consequences, but I mean, all fun things have a certain aspect of risk, and I mean, if it was
For,
all safe, then who would bother?
for some, that is more fun.
Okay.
You weren't
took a
expecting
turn.
that turn.
I was not. So I've mentioned it a few times, changing the subject in the past, that I've wanted a bench sander. It's been on top of my
Yes.
tool list, and I actually bought one this week.
A
Which is
bed what?
nice. A bench sander.
Oh, a bench sander. I thought you said a bed something. I mean, is that like a fancy headboard or whatever? But yeah.
A bed sander.
Yeah, it's the
quite a
real.
specific tool.
Yeah, we were still on the last topic.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it looks really good. Have you tried it out? Does it work as well as intended?
I've plugged it in and I have tried it for a very short amount of time, and it works 10 times better than the one I was using, which was a belt sander tie wrapped to a wooden frame. But I really liked using that belt sander strapped to a wooden frame. It served purpose pretty well for 2 years now, but it just I just missed having a belt sander. So that's the reason I bought a bench sander to replace it. But no, it's spot on. Yeah, I love it. And it's nice and quiet. I got one with an induction motor in it, so it's a nice, quiet one.
Nice.
Yeah. The belt sander strapped to the wooden frame was definitely a ear defender's job every time. That
Yeah,
thing
they are
screamed.
they are a bit quick. Little too much speed, I would say. Does it have a good
dust collection? No.
yeah, that also, but I was thinking the tool rest and that sort of thing to put stuff against the belt at right angles and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it looks pretty comprehensive actually. And you say no, the dust collection is not good, but when I tried it the other day, I didn't put any hose on the back of where it evacuates the dust, and it spewed a lot of dust out of that hole. So I'm assuming it's going to be pretty good once it's plugged in.
If it has a dust hole, that's great. I mean, my crap is the cheapest of the cheapest ones. It doesn't have that kind of thing.
Okay.
It's really weak, and while I was going with the tool rest thingy, that is not 90 degrees. It's some other degrees, so you can't really do a nice squaring stuff off, because then it goes wonky.
The disc sander's got a movable one, so you can alter the angle on that one. And then the other side is just fixed, but it has got some alteration, so you could fix it at a perfect 90, I think.
Nice.
So
It looks nice.
Seems pretty decent. Yeah, I'm chuffed with it.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll
it
get
looked
some
really
use
good.
out of that. And I also ordered another tool today.
Ooh,
It's kind of
big boy
exciting.
spending pants.
Yeah, kind of exciting, but it is more of a gardening tool. I ordered a new chainsaw.
Mhm.
That's
Ooh.
exciting. Yeah.
So how many meters long is that blade?
It's not so long. It's only 16 inches. I don't know why they sell them in inches, chainsaws, and not in metric.
It's an American thing, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah, what is 16 inches?
And then you have to do a rough calculation in your head to try to
I
figure
can't
out
be
how long it is.
bothered, but yeah.
No. Yeah. That's
So
decent size.
Yeah.
steel then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, always still.
Oh,
Most of my garden stuff is. It's good stuff. But I did start looking at the sawmills as well today.
as one do.
Because I've never really looked at those, and I thought they were a lot more expensive than they are. So, yeah, might
I mean, the
have to.
cheapest one aren't that expensive, but then the sky's the limit, I think.
Yeah, it seems like they're pretty cheap, and then they go up to the ones that have motors already built into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're just looking for a property where you can fit the sawmill.
Nah, I can get one in the back garden. It'd be fine. The workshop's got a big flat roof above it, so.
Yeah, and they're called portable for a reason. So yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I just googled it on my Chinese go-to sites, and yeah, the guides are relative. I mean, the priciest bit is this chainsaw actually.
Yeah.
Up until you get into the bandsaw type stuff, but yeah.
Quite like that windy action thing that you see Walsh Thomas using.
Yeah,
on
so
the
you can have a
chainsaw mills.
pint at the same time. Yeah, that
Exactly.
looks lovely.
Yeah.
Because that's a good thing. Sawmills and pints.
Yeah.
Well, if it's clamped into a jig, it can't be that unsafe, surely.
No,
Yeah.
and I mean the handle can be extended far away for safety reasons, I'm guessing. So yeah.
And no one's had an accident at a sawmill before.
No.
Never. Never.
No. No.
I've got a logging stand which you can clamp the chainsaw into, so you can use the chainsaw one-handed, so you can hold the wood with the other. That's always seemed pretty sturdy.
Yeah, if you're strong enough and have a good grip and don't slip, and it's a lot of butts, I think.
Yeah, well, it's all right for me anyway.
So far.
It's KJ. Get that sorted out, put it in your mind. I've got a lot of logging to do when this new chainsaw turns up, actually.
Next week, one hand to Glenn.
The one-handed gardener, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's, I mean, what's he called? Handicraft? The YouTube maker who, I think it's his left hand he can't use. So he had a challenge a couple of years ago to do a project only using your dominant hand. And I didn't take part of it because I saw it too late, but a lot of people who tried it, I mean, it is rather hard to do any kind of project in the workshop with just one hand.
Yeah, definitely.
People are getting a lot of creative with using their knees and that sort of thing, but it feels sketchy at time, and you need a lot more clamps.
Yeah, I don't think that's something I'm willing to try, unless I have to be honest with you.
So you're not gonna have the handle lock?
we had a reach around last week, didn't we?
Join us for a handle lock.
I think I'll sit this one out, actually. That's a bit much even for me.
I think I've even seen there's a couple of blind wood turners out there as well.
Yes.
I don't think I fancy that idea either.
I think that would be scary.
Scary, yes, but impressive.
I think turnings is scary as it is.
Yeah.
So,
but it'd be all right if you had a a really supportive partner who, when she'd made it, and you say, "So did it turn out all right?" She said, "Yeah, that is fantastic."
Yeah.
It just looks like a gnarly twig.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, it is massively impressive. But if I lost my eyesight or both my arms or whatever, I think I would be the kind of like, all right, I had a good run, but yeah, I would probably sell all my tools. I wouldn't have the same joy. I think struggling around with not all my senses in the workshop. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things that you never know until it actually happens, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
You know how you'd feel about it. Let's hope it doesn't happen.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's hope it not happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're probably right because you need to do something, and of course, losing something like that is it's a major change. So you would probably also maybe like to cling to what you know and what
Yeah.
you enjoy. So yeah, maybe it's a bit counterintuitive actually.
Yeah, but I'm not using a table saw if I can't see.
Yeah, you just have to get the saw stop. Yeah, I'm on my third cartridge this day. Like, bang, damn, I got to change it again.
It's too expensive. I can't keep doing this.
The $5,000 cutting board.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
all right. Was this the? Yes. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
That'll do.
That'll do. That'll do, Peg.
That
That'll
was
do.
the weirdest ending ever.
Can't be. We've done weirder ones, surely.
Sure.
Okay, well, it's a top 3
And
contender.
if not, there is always next week.
Yeah.
The quest for a weirder end keeps going. Oh, yeah, continues. That was the word I was looking for.